So let's talk about systems. So
Mhm.
we've put together kind of the foundational structure of the business. Now we're really talking about operating and what would you say are well, first, how do you help businesses with establishing good systems? And explain for our listener what kind of systems make a business and what kind of systems break them.
So, very simple definition, right? Like a system is a set of processes that can be repeatable, right? That are going to produce the same kind of result. That is an ideal system. So, a system that's going to make your business is one that no matter who you put in the role, that role is going to get accomplished in the same way, going to produce the same result, right? It's that consistency and predictability. A system that breaks your business is a system that's inconsistent, or it's poorly fitted with your actual business goal, or it's poorly fitted to your ideal client, right? If you're a real estate investor, you may have an ideal client profile that's all dealing with like luxury clients, right? And so your systems better match up to the expectations of a luxury client. If, for example, your business is one in which you are wholesaling to people whose family member has died, right? Having to do with probate and acquisition of property through probate. You need to make sure that your system aligns with that and isn't, matched up for something completely different, like a flip. Um, so that alignment or lack of alignment is what makes or breaks a system.
So one of the questions that I had, and I think maybe you answered it to some extent, but we have a lot of real estate investors that listen to this show. That's what the show is heavily about. And whether there's a particular set of systems that you would recommend for the real estate investor, but it sounds like it really depends on what the investor's focus is within real estate, whether it's like you said, a fix and flip, or whether they're wholesaling, or what their strategy is. Is that true, or is there particular systems that tend to fit with all?
So I would say for the vast majority of real estate investors, right, whether it's a fix and flip or you're doing wholesaling, if it at all involves sales, your system needs to take into account interactions with the title company. So your system should have, title companies, at least three of them, because you never know, right? One might have some issues, another one might not take your type of transaction, but you need to know this is the type of title company that's going to accept this type of a deal, this type of transaction, right? Their underwriters are really comfortable with this. So you've taken the time to interview them, to know their process and learn their entire process from beginning to end. How do they like to receive the contract, right? What information do they require from you for the buyer, seller, and buyer, like all that information? What do they need in advance? About how long does it take for them to get back searches from their underwriter if their underwriter is the one doing searches and they don't do searches in-house? You need to know all that info from beginning to end so that you're not surprised in the middle of a transaction. So your sellers are not surprised, because it's knowing when and how to communicate that keeps things running smoothly in these transactions where you've got multiple players. You just need to have that. And so any investor that deals with sales and flips and wholesaling, you must have a system that incorporates and takes into account the entire length of the title company process that you've chosen to work with.